You know what, lads? I've reached that point now where I genuinely think this could still get worse, and that's terrifying. Because for me, it's clear as day. Russell Martin is not getting sacked anytime soon. He's here for the foreseeable, no matter how many performances stink the place out. No matter what happens on Sunday, no matter how much the fans voice their anger, I honestly believe the board, and the clowns surrounding the board, are either blind to what's going on or they just don't care. You've got Patrick Stewart, Kevin Thelwell, his son, his auntie, his nan, his dog's cousin's goldfish. It doesn't matter how far you go down the family tree. The lot of them seem incapable of making the decision that everyone can see is needed. It's maddening. Last night, another European game, another miserable, gutless display. And I know some will come out and say Sturm Graz away is a tough fixture. And yeah, maybe on paper it's not the easiest place in Europe to go. But we're not any club. We're not some Conference League debutantes here. We are Rangers. We've gone to harder places and gotten results. And if you rewind just one season, go back to the Europa League under Philippe Clement. And I'm not even saying Clement was the Messiah, because let's be honest, he wasn't good enough domestically. But in Europe, at least we were set up with a bit of structure, a bit of understanding of what the competition demands. Last season's European campaign saw us go toe-to-toe with sides who were clearly better than Sturm Graz. We went away to Olympiacos, came away with a draw. That was a side many said was dreadful, our squad last year. And yet they showed more resilience, more heart, and more tactical sense than anything we've seen so far this year. 4-0 at home to FCSB. A narrow defeat to Lyon, who are a class above. We even pushed eventual winners Tottenham, managed to beat a team that's now in the Champions League on the final day. There was progress. There was a shape. There was something. This season, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. The football is sterile. The line is suicidally high. The passing is horizontal, backwards, slow, and lifeless. It's the same pattern every game. Nothing changes. Nothing improves. And then, as always, you get the happy clappers trying to sell you on this idea that the second half showed improvement. That we're building. That there's green shoots. Honestly, those people make me sick. They are part of the problem. And I'll say this straight. If you're still turning up at Ibrox, still putting money into this club, still clapping these performances, then you are part of the reason this circus continues. I know it's harsh. I know some won't want to hear it. But it's the truth. Until fans start voting with their feet, until Ibrox starts looking empty, this ownership won't feel a thing. The only language these Americans understand is cash, or the lack of it. They don't care about banners or booze. But an empty stadium? That gets attention. That puts pressure on them. That makes change unavoidable. Because last night's first half wasn't just bad. It was disgusting. One of the most disorganized, pathetic, clueless 45 minutes of football I've ever seen from a Rangers side in Europe. And I've seen some dark days. The defending wasn't just Sunday League. It was worse than that. Honestly, I've coached under-12s with more structure than what we saw last night. People calling it schoolboy defending are doing schoolboys a disservice. I mean that. It was that bad. Russell Martin will point to possession stats. He'll talk about the number of shots in the second half. He'll try to spin it. But we've heard it all before. Possession doesn't win you games. Sterile, sideways passing doesn't frighten anyone in Europe. And the second half, revival, was not some tactical masterstroke. It was chaos football. It was pure desperation. The players abandoned the system. They just went for it. They stopped listening to the instructions. They played like lads who knew they were heading for another defeat and just said, screw it, let's at least try. And you know what? That worked better than anything Martin's cooked up since he arrived. When you remove Martin from the equation, when the players stop playing the way he wants them to play, we suddenly look like we've got a bit of fight. That says everything you need to know. This man is the issue. He's dragging the team down with his stubbornness, his obsession with style over substance. The players aren't brilliant, but they're better than what we're seeing. And he's not helping them. He's setting them up to fail. The starting 11? Wrong from minute one. The subs? Utterly baffling. We've got Finley Curtis on the bench, a lad who actually cares, who runs, who presses, who gives you everything. And he doesn't get a minute. What's going on there? Has he insulted someone's mother? Got caught with someone's girlfriend? Because that's the only reason I can think of for him being frozen out like this. The kid deserves a chance. Instead, we get Mikey Moore. Again, Mikey Bloody Moore. The boy looks like he wandered off the set of a talent show, not a football pitch. He's not ready. And quite frankly, he's not good enough. Another wonder kid who flatters to deceive. Then you've got Rothwell coming on. Cameron sat on the bench again after being one of the only bright sparks this season. If he's not fit, why is he there? If he is fit, why is he not starting? The whole setup is backwards. You've got Chimitai leading the line, and I genuinely don't know how this lad cost what he cost. There needs to be an investigation. $8.5 million for a striker who wouldn't get a game for my niece's college team. He's not just out of his depth, he's a mile underwater. People called him Umar Sadiq 2.0. That's generous. At least Sadiq had legs that worked. Chimitai is miles off the standard. Now look, I'll give credit where it's due. Kasama was excellent. The only one out there who looked like he gave a damn. Worked hard, pressed, tried to make things happen. But the rest? Pure comedy. Asgard was invisible. I mean, the lad is doing cosplay as a footballer at this point. Just standing around, trying to look sharp with the hair and boots, but offering nothing. Taff. Woeful again. Suitor. A walking liability. Ma. Not good enough. And yet we can't drop him, because someone upstairs thought it was wise to have one left back in the entire squad, and he's on loan. Genius. Absolutely genius. Butland, though, what a keeper. If it wasn't for him, that first half ends 4 or 5-0. Pulled off some cracking saves again. Every week, he's bailing us out. He's the only reason this hasn't been a complete humiliation every game. He deserves better. We all do. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just look at the numbers. 5 wins from 16 games. 5. It's October. Let that sink in. What Rangers manager has ever survived that kind of record? What world are we living in where 31% win rate is acceptable? Not here. Not at this club. This isn't Partick Thistle. This isn't Queen's Park. This is Rangers. And this isn't just falling short of the standards. It's spitting on them. Right? Let's keep this rolling, because we're not even done yet. There's still so much rot in this club right now, and it all starts at the top. The boardroom, the recruitment, the structure, it's all rotten. We're not failing by accident. This isn't just a rough patch. This is systemic. Failure. It's failure built into the bones of how the club is being run, and it's happening right under our noses. Look at the people making decisions. Kevin Thelwell, a man who failed at Everton. A sporting director who left one disaster only to recreate another here. Dan Purry failed at Everton too. What is this? Some sort of rehabilitation home for rejects from Goodison Park. What did they say in the interview? You did a dreadful job over there. Perfect. Welcome to Rangers. It's madness. And it shows. Just look at the signings. Chimitai, $8.5 million for a striker who couldn't finish a sandwich. Rothwell, anonymous. Mikey Moore, lost. The list goes on. There's no identity. No cohesion. We're just chucking money around and hoping it works. And then you've got Robbie Thelwell, literally hired because of his surname. What is this? Family day at the office? Nepotism FC? We're being run like a Sunday league side. And it's not just that these appointments have failed, it's that they never made sense to begin with. The moment you look at the list of names involved in this rebuild, you see a pattern. Failure follows them. And instead of turning the ship around, they're dragging us even deeper into the mire. Then there's Russell Martin. Let's just say it straight. The man is out of his depth. And the most infuriating part is the way he hides behind this illusion of playing modern football. Possession, patterns, high line, sterile football with no end product. It's the same nonsense every week. We don't create chances. We don't control games. We don't defend properly. We don't win. So what exactly is the plan? If you ask Martin, he'll probably talk about progression. He'll say the team is learning. He'll blame mentality or fitness or injuries. But the reality is, we're nearly 24 games into the season, and this team has no identity, no direction, no clear approach. It's a bunch of players being asked to play a system they clearly don't believe in, and it shows. The passing is robotic. The movement is non-existent. And every time we lose, we're told we were unlucky or improving. Mate, we've won 5 out of 16. There is no improvement. There is no luck involved. It's just plain old bad management. And again, let me hammer this home. It's not just about the players. Yes, some of them aren't good enough. Yes, individuals make mistakes. But this isn't a case of 1 or 2 weak links. This is structural. This is how they're being coached. You can take average players and make them look like a unit with the right coach. You can take a limited squad and make them difficult to beat. That's what managers do. But Russell Martin can't even organize a back four, let alone build a competitive side. He's got a defensive line that sits on the halfway line against quick strikers. He's got midfielders passing sideways like it's a training drill. And when it all goes wrong, he shrugs and talks about data. I don't want to hear about possession stats. I want results. This is Rangers. And let's talk about that Europa League table. 2 games, 2 defeats. Bottom of the group. 32nd overall. That's where we are right now. And before anyone starts with, well, there's some big names down there too. Let me stop you right there. This isn't about them. This is about us. This isn't who we are. We've competed in Europe for years. We've stood toe-to-toe with giants. Now we can't even get a point against Sturm Graz? How far have we fallen that this is now accepted? Because for me, it's not. It's disgraceful. We are turning into Everton Mark II, and I don't say that lightly. Same failing recruitment. Same mismanagement. Same lack of ambition. We are literally copying their blueprint for how to ruin a football club, and we're doing it with a straight face. You know, people mocked Everton for their revolving door of managers, their poor signings, their constant flirting with disaster. But at least they sometimes try to fix it. We're just sitting in the mud, hoping it magically gets better. It won't. Not while these people are in charge. Not while Russell Martin is still standing on the touchline, clapping away like a PE teacher on a school trip. And let's be honest, it's not even just about Europe anymore. Domestically, we're a shambles too. We've dropped points to teams we should be blowing away. We don't have a style. We don't have a killer instinct. The players look confused, passive, drained. Every single game feels like an uphill struggle. Every match feels like a repeat of the last. And the worst part? Some fans still defend it. Still say give him time. Still cling to this weird belief that it's all going to click any minute now. Mate, it's October. We're over a dozen games in. The season is flying by, and we're getting left behind. Time isn't the answer. Changes. Radical, proper change from the top down. Because the manager's not the only one dragging this club into the dirt. The people behind the scenes, the recruitment staff, the analysts, the lot of them, they're just as guilty. They've built a Frankenstein's monster of a squad, thrown it at a manager with no top-flight experience, and acted shocked when it doesn't work. What did they expect? Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Aberdeen fans are reeling in disbelief as whispers around Pittodrie suggest one of their brightest stars, Marko Lazetic, might be plotting an audacious move north to Ibrox. The Serbian striker, who has dazzled supporters with his pace and eye for goal, has reportedly caught the attention of Rangers hierarchy, sparking rumors that have left Don's faithful in a state of shock. Insiders claim talks are at an advanced stage, though both clubs have remained tight-lipped, fueling speculation rather than quelling it. Lazetic, who has become a talisman for Aberdeen since arriving, is said to be tempted by the chance to compete in the Scottish Premiership's fiercest rivalry, and the lure of European football that Rangers can offer. For a player so closely associated with Pittodrie's rise in recent seasons, the mere suggestion of a switch to the Glasgow Giants is sending shockwaves through the city. The atmosphere in Aberdeen has been electric this week, with fans gathering outside the stadium and on social media voicing their heartbreak. "We can't believe it," tweeted one longtime supporter. "Marko's one of our own. To think he might don the blue of Rangers is almost too much." Pundits are equally flabbergasted, debating whether Lazetic's potential move could mark a seismic shift in Scottish football. The Dons have been known for nurturing homegrown and foreign talent alike, and losing a player of Lazetic's caliber to their fiercest adversary would be unprecedented. Meanwhile, murmurs from Ibrox suggest the club is quietly confident they can lure the young striker, citing his ambition and the prospect of silverware as key motivators. The prospect of seeing Lazetic line up against former teammates in one of Scottish football's most intense derbies is already fueling heated debates across the country. Fans of both sides are bracing themselves, with speculation spreading like wildfire. Could this be the transfer that reshapes the landscape of Scottish football this season? While nothing has been confirmed, the buzz surrounding Marko Lazetic and his potential move to Rangers is impossible to ignore. For now, the city of Aberdeen is holding its breath, watching as one of their brightest stars hovers on the brink of an unthinkable switch. Only time will tell if this rumor is mere fantasy, or the start of a footballing betrayal that will echo for years. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.